Jed, tell me about pre-season so far. I mean, we're up here at St George's. You know, it's a fantastic centre from what I've seen. I've never been here before. It's the first time. But what's pre-season like at the moment?
Yeah, it's been good. We've been in a bit earlier than everyone else, so it's been slightly different to last year in terms of probably physically. Last pre-season was probably the hardest I've ever done.
Right.
Which in the end we had a poor start to the season anyway. So you can read into that as much as you want. You know, when you as a player, sometimes pre-season results, performances are much more important.
I always think pre-season results are they're always a nothing game, aren't they? You know, you're on a hide into nothing. You're expected to win. If you don't, you don't, and then you can turn around and say, well, it doesn't matter anyway because it's only to get fit and stuff like that. In terms of training, what have you been doing? Have you had the balls out? I mean, we used to have like at least 3 weeks where you didn't even see a football, but then that probably looked out. We played like that usually, so that didn't matter too much. But I mean, the manager
ball straight out, straight out. Literally, 1 day of testing, where I think the manager just sees who had a good summer and who was working hard over the summer, and a couple of the boys obviously come back really fit. Most lads come back fit now, anyway. To be honest. You just make yourself look a bit silly if you don't do your work over the off-season. Yeah,
you do. I mean, our lads, it was a competition you could come back the biggest, and it was,
not like that anymore,
and it was like Weight Watchers for the first 2 weeks, but obviously now things have changed and moved on. It's a lot more professional. You have like heart monitors and things like that.
Well, Carlos has something he's done since we come in. We've started doing the Dexter body fat scans. Yeah. Which I'm sure you'd love to do one of them, wouldn't you?
No, I'd love one. Yeah. I don't know how big your calipers are, but I'd probably struggle.
We do them at Wolves Uni now, so there's no hiding place on that one. So I think once you know you're back into training, I think certainly cutting out the biscuit.
It's certainly changed over the years. I mean, we used to run around. I don't know if you know, we used to have Gary Megson, Lord Megson, he's known as at the football club, and we had a fitness trainer. I think he got him out of an army boot camp or something like that, and AD Stabell, and he training finished when somebody was sick. That's how hard you used to run. You used to your own heart monitors, I guess, now and things like that. But it's working well. The lads all look in good shape.
It's been great. Everyone's fit, and like you say, because everyone does the work in the off season, you're ready to get straight into the football when you come back, rather than building your fitness. And Carlos, I think, to be honest, the training sessions are probably going to be more important than the pre-season games, because we're still obviously only 7 or 8 months into his reign.
Like you said, you came back very early, didn't you? I mean, when I saw you come back, it was sort of mid-July,
20th of June, wasn't it? 20th of June, and I'm like,
what are they doing back?
20th of June, it's crazy.
And was there any particular reason for that? Is that just what the manager wants?
I think he just wanted us in early. Like I said it before, when I spoke to people, there's no one that wants to be successful more than the manager.
I think that comes across. He's very meticulous, isn't he, with his work, and he leaves no stone unturned, if you like. It's all very, it's all geared for performance and 100%. Success, isn't it? And is that what you feel? If I'm gonna do well, and we're gonna do well at West Brom, he's gonna be the person to make us do it, because there's not a manager in the country that works harder than him. And it's down to the players to follow suit, to be honest. 100%. I mean, if you look at last season, I've got to say, I mean, you were not just one of my favourite players of the season, or if not player of the season, you were certainly the fans' favourite player. It showed every time you got the ball. For me personally, as an ex-professional, looking at you as a player now, you're very direct. You're very positive every time you get the ball. Your crossing is sensational. Some of the balls you put in, I mean, I reckon I could score 30 a season in that team.
I don't think they're that good.
I don't know. I could probably
that good.
I'll get on on the end of a couple of them, I'm sure. But no, I thought you had a great season last season.
I really appreciate that.
At times the squad was very young. We had some huge injuries to some big players, important players in important positions. Definitely. I think one of the games we had the whole back four were out of the academy, which is great for the academy and great for the young lads going in. But when you have them sort of players in the team, you need leaders, and I think that you were one of those players that stood out as a leader, and you showed. There's different ways to lead teams. Some people put their head in where their hurts, but demanding the ball when things aren't going necessarily well is also a good sign of courage and being a strong player and leading by example to the younger players. And you weren't captain. Now Dara's gone. I don't know if the gaffer's announced captain. Would that be something? Not that you need it, because I think you lead anyway. But would that be something that you'd enjoy to take on?
Yeah, I don't mind. Like, to be honest, the armband thing is. I think Connor done a great job stepping into that role last year. Obviously put himself on free kicks, which helps when you're captain. Put himself on free kick and put one in the top corner.
He didn't do bad, did he? I'm sure Swifty goes no far joined with that, didn't he?
Yeah, so I think I'm someone that I've played with some great captains, and I think the easiest part of the game is communicating and helping the person next to you. The hard part is when you've got 2 people chasing you down in the 80th minute, to be honest. So the easy part is communication, and it's always something I've tried to do is help the players next to me. And we've got a lot of lads, Connor, Okai, obviously Dara last season, Palms is very vocal. Bart's when he plays is very vocal. So Darnie as well behind me. So we've got a lot of people that are vocal and, like you say, people lead in different ways. I think we've got loads of people that lead in their own individual way, for sure.
Oh, good. So leading into that, you said about 2 people coming at you in the sort of, the 80th minute with the ball. I was listening to an interview the other week, and it was Pat Nevin, and he was talking about as a wing, and he was a winger as well. And I just thought I'd bring it up because obviously you're a winger, but he was saying, like, back in the day, I'm going back when I started, he used to play against Stuart Pearce, and they used to have a battle every season, twice a season. But in a respectful way, Pearce, you'd pick him up after he battered him, sort of thing, But have you got a player like that you play against sort of year in, year out, and you think, oh, this is going to be a tough day today? And does he feel that it's going to be a tough day for you as well?
The one that always stands out is probably Jake Bidwell, actually.
Oh, right, yeah.
Who's now at Coventry. I played against him when he was at Brentford and Swansea. Always played against him, and then he comes across like quite aggressive on the pitch, and then I bumped into him randomly in David Lloyd in Solihull, and I thought, what a nice guy. So I think next season hopefully he'll be a bit more friendly towards me on the pitch. But I think over the years you have them relationships, don't you, where you play against people. At the moment I'm having it with Zach Ashworth in training at the moment.
Oh right, yeah, young Zach, he's done well. He's come through the ranks, hasn't he?
Actually. Yeah, he scratched my face first day of pre-season.
Lovely.
So he's all over me at the moment. I think he's
is he trying to prove his point?
He's trying to up his aggression levels. I think Jorge, one of the coaches, said he's going to put us on the same team because he thinks we might have a little roll around on a little tumble.
And does that happen anymore?
Nah, me and Zach get on really well.
Yeah,
I think they're just testing me and testing Zach, who can wind each other up more at the
moment. I think so. Do you train how you play then? Is it
you have
very
to,
intense?
Well, you see the coaching videos with Carlos. Yeah. Like if you're not training to the maximum, then you might as well forget it because you're not going to play. So every player is competitive, and I think the young players coming back that, like Zach, Caleb, that have been on loan.
Yeah, Caleb's done really well at Cheltenham.
They've brought some really good energy into the group, and it's important for me that any group has young players that are pushing the standards and bringing the energy into training. And the young lads, Jovan especially as well, have been brilliant so far this pre-season. And we're going to need them moving forward. I
mean, I've just walked into the building now, the hotel where you're all staying, and you've got your own sort of section up there, and it's, you've got your ping pong or table tennis. They don't call it ping pong. That's when I was as a kid. Table tennis table. You've got your pool table. You've got your games console in the corner. There seems to be a real togetherness in the squad, a real sort of good team spirit. I mean, again, going back, I keep going on about my day, but team spirit was built in a different way then. But walking in there, you can feel the togetherness of the squad already, and is that something that
definitely
you feel that is quite strong?
Yeah, you need that. That's why you come to places like this, because it sounds silly, but you do a little pool tournament yesterday. The lads are all playing poker together. The lads are all playing PlayStation together after training. Like you're living out of each other's pockets for a week, really.
Yeah.
And especially for the younger guys, that probably this is the first time they've really felt part of the first team squad. It's a good chance for the senior pros to give them a little bit of stick, them to give a little bit back, and we really bond, which is important because over the course of a long old season, you need to know that you're going to have your mates back. So it's nice for us to spend some time together.
Yeah, it is. And there's no mystery what they've built it out here, is there? I mean, you're not going to escape, are you?
No, it's not bad.
The drive's about 2 miles long, and pre-season.
Well, there's worse places, isn't there? Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah, but it is stunning. But it is stunning. So what do you see for next season? How do you feel the season's going to go? I mean, like you've already said, we didn't get. I think we had 9 games in August last year, obviously because of the other competitions and the season starting late. A lot of games to play. Lot of games to play, and I think we drew probably 7 of those games.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a great start, and people look at the season over a whole, and they were saying about, near the end of the season, people always remember the games that were close, going, oh, we dropped a point there. But for me, the season really was lost in that first month, of August. You can't pull back from that. I mean, you've got potentially 27 points, and to pick up sort of 7 or 8 it's not the best start. I mean, Carlos wasn't here then, and I think you have to say when he's come in, I mean, what a job he's done. I mean, he's took our football club to the right to the edge of promotion, and I think that's a fantastic achievement, and that excites me for next season. I'm quite excited to see what he's going to do. He's brought you back early for pre-season. He's done lots of things. He's changed lots of little things from what I can gather, and and for me that excites me about what he could actually do with a full season. How do you see it going?
Yeah, 100%. I think you're right. I think when you start last season, I think we had 17 points after 14 games or something, which is, like you say, you're giving everyone a head start.
Yeah, it's a lot to pull back.
Carlos come in, obviously had a huge impact straight away, and after the World Cup break, we had a really good run of games. So I think we're only going to improve with him as manager.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll be keen to add players to the group to help us become even stronger.
What's he done with you personally? How's he changed your game, if he has at all?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, to be honest, it's the first time really in a long time that I felt like I've been properly coached and learnt new things. I think I broke into the first team at Portsmouth when I was 17, 18, and you know what it's like when you're in the first team.
Yeah.
3 games a week, sometimes you don't get that time to be coached. And I feel like I've learned definitely a lot. Coming inside a lot more, trying to get on different lines to Darnell when he gets the ball, making myself available in different spaces, and I've really enjoyed it, to be honest.
Yeah, it looks it. The way you play, you seem to play with a smile on your face. I think that's why the fans have taken to you, because you give everything for the shirt. You know, you leave nothing on the pitch. You have got a rapport with the supporters. I mean, it must be easier when you're out on the touchline because you're right next to them, I guess. But you touched on, you started at Portsmouth. It was your first professional club, and then I think you went back on loan, didn't you, for a month back to your other club. So what I'm trying to get is, you've got Southampton coming down and there's that rivalry. So let's talk a little bit about rivalry. So up here, depending on your age, it's either Villa or Wolves. I won't say what we call the Wolves, but there is always that rivalry. And, you know, for you, you must have played in some local derbies. I mean, have you got any memorable ones? Or?
Yeah, I think I played. I don't think I've ever played in a proper derby. At Portsmouth, we never played Southampton. Millwall, we never played West Ham.
That was the other one, Millwall, West Ham.
And here we've not played, obviously, Wolves yet. So it's something where I've played in a few Needley games, definitely. But they're the games that you want to play in.
Of course they are.
When there's a little bit more riding on it, they're the big atmospheres, and they're the games you want to be in.
You know, you look at the fixtures when they come out in the first one, you look for local derbies. So with Southampton, is that going to have any kind of a...
Yeah, it would be a nice one for me.
You want to put one over on them, and I'm sure you're going to get a bit...
My wife's family are all involved in Portsmouth as well, so it would be maybe a little bit more in that game for me. But to be honest, it's a long season, and I just want us to be successful and desperate for it. And like I said, there's the group of players in there. We've been working hard. We've got an amazing manager, and we need to make sure that we're ready to go.
So, what's the goal for this season? What are you?
Yeah, it's always the same. West Brom in the Championship, as you know, the goal is always to get promoted. But probably Leeds, Leicester, Southampton, Stoke, Blackburn, Millwall. The list goes on. There's so many other clubs that want to achieve the same thing.
It's a difficult league as well. You know, you know yourself. I mean, Blackpool away on a Tuesday night it's not much fun. You know, but they're the results where you've got to go and grind a result out, and you know it's hopefully all the good work that you're doing now that will set you in good stead.
I think when the fixtures come out this year, I think you realise it feels like the Championship is going to be tough this year. When you look at the fixtures, I'm not being disrespectful. There's probably in years gone by where you'd look and you'd see 3 or 4 games and you go, that's a good block. When you look at the fixtures this year and you think, probably 14, 15 clubs really are going into the season wanting to get in that top 6. So it's going to be interesting and going to be tough, but it's going to be great because there's going to be some amazing atmospheres at Hawthorns this season. Big football clubs playing against each other, and as a player, they're the games that you want to play in.
Perfect. And the last thing I really want to touch on is the new strip, the new shirt. I've seen your picture modelling the shirt. I think it's. What do you think about the strip? I mean, the strip in our day was like this big baggy, a bit like what I'm wearing now, T-shirt, you know. But I tried one of yours on. We played a media staff game, and wow, I mean, it was double XL.
How was that? Any good?
Well, I couldn't breathe. And that was double XL. So you know, looking at you lads up there now, I was like, wow, you're all like beam poles. But the strip, what do you like?
Yeah, it's nice. It feels excitement, doesn't it, for the fans to get the new kits out? I've got 2 boys now, or 3 boys. One's only a little baby, and 4 and a 5-year-old. So they've been nagging me already, saying they need the new kits.
So they're all Baggers fans as well?
Yeah, they are now. They're at the games. They walked out at me. Norwich game, last game, home game of the season. They walked out.
I saw that. Yeah,
loved it. So I'm going to be nagging Jacko to get me some kits for the kids. So something that I'm very privileged to play for a club like this, and that's, to be honest, the moments it's all about with my kids at the stadium. I'm looking forward to hopefully this season having some real success here and make memories that will last forever, to be honest.
Brilliant. Well, it's our privilege that you're here as well. We love you here. The fans love you here. We love you as staff. And, you know, good luck for the season. I hope it all goes well.
Top man, AJ.
Top man. Cheers, pal.